The Galactic Council had always considered humans a curiosity, soft-skinned, short-lived creatures from a backwater planet called Earth. They were new to the interstellar community, eager to trade, to learn, to belong. The Council tolerated them with the patronizing patience one might show a child playing among adults. Then came the incident at Colony Outpost. Lisa. Martinez stood before the holographic display in the command center of the UNSC Retribution. Her jaw clenched so tight it ached. The images flickered before her. 12 bodies, scientists, and engineers who'd been stationed at humanity's first deep space research outpost. They'd been studying exoplanets, cataloging resources, dreaming of humanity's future among the stars. The Vraxian Dominion had vaporized them without warning. "Play it again," Lisa commanded, her voice hollow. James Chen, her second-in-command, hesitated. "Captain, you've watched it 17 times. We all have replay. It, again," the hologram reset. There was the outpost, a small cluster of habitation modules orbiting a gas giant. Then the Vraxian warship appeared, sleek, predatory, bristling with weapons humanity was only beginning to understand. No hails, no warnings, just 3 plasma bursts that turned the outpost into expanding clouds of debris and flash-frozen atmosphere. 12 humans, scientists, unarmed. The transmission that followed had been broadcast across the entire sector, ensuring every species heard it. Let this be a lesson to the younger races. The Vraxians claim this system. Trespassers will be sterilized. The Galactic Council's response had been swift, a formal reprimand delivered with all the weight of a sternly worded letter. The Vraxians were advised to be more diplomatic in the future. Case closed. That's when humanity learned an important lesson about galactic civilization. No one cared about 12 dead humans, but humans cared. "James," Lisa said quietly, finally turning from the hologram. "Status on the fleet?" James pulled up tactical displays across the command center. 3 months. That's how long it had taken humanity to prepare. 3 months of every spacefaring nation on Earth pooling resources, of shipyards running triple shifts, of humanity's best military minds planning something the galaxy had never seen from the soft species. 217 vessels ready for quantum jump, James reported. Carriers, destroyers, frigates, and the new Havoc-class dreadnoughts. Crew complement, 43,000. All volunteers, all volunteers. That detail mattered to Lisa. After the massacre, humanity could have fielded 1 million troops. The recruitment centers had been overwhelmed, but they'd needed quality over quantity, speed over scale. And the Vraxian homeworld? Tracking complete. Their defense grid is impressive. They're a warrior culture, Captain. They've conquered 17 species. Their military doctrine is based on overwhelming force and shock tactics. Lisa's smile was cold. Then they'll understand what's about to happen. The Retribution led the human fleet through quantum space, that strange realm where physics bent and distances collapsed. Other species used quantum drives for trade and exploration, carefully calculating routes, ensuring safe emergence points. Humanity used them to deliver an armada into orbit around Vraxis Prime with 0 warning. "All ships report successful emergence," James announced. "Vraxian defense fleet scrambling, count 453 warships. They outnumber us 2 to 1. The Vraxians were fast. Lisa had to give them that. Within minutes, their superior numbers began to encircle the human fleet. Communication channels erupted with demands for surrender in a dozen languages. Lisa opened a channel to the entire fleet. "All ships, this is Captain Martinez. Remember the 12. Remember that the galaxy watched them die and did nothing. Remember that we're here to teach a lesson about humanity. We are not prey. We do not forget. And we do not forgive." She closed the channel and nodded to James. "Execute Protocol Reaper. What happened next would be studied in military academies for centuries. The Vraxians fought like they always had, with brutal, straightforward aggression. They were stronger, faster, their weapons more powerful. In a traditional engagement, they would have crushed the human fleet. But humans didn't fight traditionally. Earth had been a planet at war with itself for millennia. Humans had refined warfare into a terrible art, learned every dirty trick, perfected every tactical innovation. They'd fought in trenches, jungles, deserts, and cities. They'd learned to win when outnumbered, outgunned, surrounded. The human fleet scattered like startled fish, then reformed into patterns the Vraxians couldn't predict. Smaller ships played decoy while dreadnoughts appeared from quantum jumps at point-blank range. Carrier-launched drones swarmed in thousands, each one piloted remotely by soldiers who'd trained on video games since childhood. Humans used the debris field of their own destroyed ships as improvised mines, and they used kinetics. The Vraxians had energy shields, sophisticated defense grids, but Newton's laws cared nothing for technology. The human dreadnoughts fired solid slugs. Tungsten rods accelerated to relativistic speeds. The Vraxians' shields meant to stop energy weapons were nearly useless against metal moving at a fraction of light speed. The battle lasted 8 hours. When it ended, 453 Vraxian warships had been reduced to wreckage. The human fleet had lost 74 vessels and 11,000 crew. But they weren't finished, Captain, James said quietly. The planetary defense grid is targeting us. Lisa looked at the planet below, green and blue, teeming with billions of Vraxian lives. She thought of the 12 humans who died without warning, without mercy. Broadcast our terms, she ordered. Unconditional surrender, reparations, a formal treaty acknowledging human sovereignty in all disputed systems, and every Vraxian involved in the Kepler 442 massacre delivered for trial. The response came within minutes. Acceptance. Later, James found Lisa in her quarters, staring at the images of the 12 victims. The Council is demanding we withdraw, he said. They're calling us warmongers, saying we've destabilized the sector. Let them talk, Lisa replied. They'll learn the same lesson the Vraxians did. You don't massacre humans and walk away. Not anymore, James nodded slowly. The media on Earth is calling it the Kepler vengeance. Some are saying we went too far. Lisa finally looked up from the images. 12 humans died. We made sure millions of Vraxians lived who would have died if this had escalated. We ended it decisively. That's mercy, James. They just don't recognize it yet. She stood, squaring her shoulders. Recall the fleet. We're going home. As the retribution turned toward Earth, every species in the galaxy learned a new truth. Humanity would die for one another, and if you made them, they'd kill for each other too. The Council never issued another sternly worded letter when humans were involved. Some lessons are only learned in blood.